Hey, welcome to an episode of Cider Saturday with me, Chad, of Chad's Beer Reviews. I don't think I've ever had any ciders from this cider review before. This is from good old Ciderboys First Press Traditional Hard Cider, 5% ABV. And let's see, it's 244 calories, 30 grams of sugar, wow. Alright, so I poured it into that hourglass-shaped glass. I haven't used this in a while. And it's a, pretty standard cider, golden yellow. It's funny, like at the top of the glass it's kind of hazy, but at the bottom it's kind of clear. So I don't know what's going on with this thing. It actually has a little bit of foam that's still hanging around. Yeah, it smells like apple juice. 30 grams of sugar. It definitely, yeah, it smells more juicy than acidic or tart or anything. There's like a slight acidity in there. But, yeah, pretty standard aroma off the nose. Not a whole lot going on there. So, hopefully there's a lot more going on with the taste. Cheers. Yeah. It's kind of a nice balance of, like, juicy kind of apples, but also a little bit of tartness on the finish. It's, I would definitely call this a sweet cider. 30 grams of sugar. Yeah, it's like basically like drinking a Coke or a Pepsi. Well, I have had sweeter ciders. Now that I'm into it, like up front, I'm getting like a little, acidity. Nice, like slight, subtle sourness up front. And then at the end is when the juicy apple character comes. I mean, it's apple from start to finish, obviously, but it has like, it's funny because like it's like cider at first and then it kind of finishes kind of juicy. Usually it's the other way around. Yeah, and then it has like a fairly tart finish. One thing I always like about it, doesn't matter if it's sour beers or sour ciders, anything like acidic like that. I just love like clucking my tongue on the roofs, other ceiling of my mouth. Like that. Just you keep like, I don't know what it is. It's like you just like pull a little bit additional flavors. I think it's like a natural human reaction to like anything that's like, acidic. Yeah, it's a nice balance of a juicy flavor, fairly sweet. It's funny. I have had sweeter, but I've also had much drier. By the way, I was trying to find a bottling code or something on here. I have no idea how old this is. It's been in the fridge for probably at least a month. Probably put it like medium light. The carbonation, kind of the opposite, probably medium high. Pretty crisp. It's got a nice kind of snap to it. Has a lingering, sour, sweet and sour kind of aftertaste. Not like sweet and sour Chinese food. Yeah, just like, it's, juicy, but also a little acidic, a little tart. It is kind of basic. There isn't a whole lot going on with this. Although I will say, this is something you don't tend to get on a lot of ciders, is lacing. So that's a good sign. I do, and yeah, now that we're down to the bottom, it's like that kind of champagne gold color. So yeah, I like this one. This is a solid, just regular traditional cider. I mean, that's what they're going for. No frills, but nothing wrong with it at all. I did not get this at table. I got this on, just at Total Wine. I forget how much. I think it was fairly cheap. It was like $3 maybe. I don't have the receipt anymore. So I'm going to give this a solid 8 out of 10. It's very good. Like nothing, particularly amazing about it, but nothing bad about it at all. This is like really drinkable. I'd say it's actually pretty refreshing while you're drinking it. And yeah, I could definitely throw back a few of these, especially in the Florida summer heat. All right, so if you watch all the way in, you already know you're awesome. I will see you guys for a good old Chad's Beer Reviews. Cheers.
Somebody brewed it, Chad just reviewed it.
Thanks for watching Chad's Beer Reviews.
Trust me, the next episode will be a lot better.
Yeah, I like it. So Ciderboys First Press,